What's up guys, David Falla here, welcome to the channel. Today's video is actually a cool video. I completely forgot about recording this video, to be honest with you guys, but found it. I don't know, lately I've been finding all these videos I recorded before, so this is a super cool one just because it's something a little different. I don't get to do these type of haircuts as often as I would like, so there you go. Let's start with this super cool haircut. So the first step we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and use our outliner because we're gonna create our first guide. In this video, I didn't have enough time to record the video. It was one of those videos that you just had a small amount of time to kind of record the whole thing. So I'm gonna explain to you, even though I cannot show you as many angles as I usually do and all that stuff, but I'm gonna explain to you what I'm doing. So first, we're gonna create a first guideline with the 0, and then right now I'm using number 4 and just removing all that bulk. This is gonna be kind of like a mullet type of thing, like we call it siete in a lot of Spanish countries. So this is like kind of like a modern mullet. Then we're gonna go ahead and use number 3. So we're gonna start blending from the number 4 all the way to the number 0. We're gonna start with the first, we're gonna be lever open, and then we're gonna start closing that lever little by little, and that's pretty much gonna be the same process all the way down. And then we're gonna go ahead with the number 2, and then lever open, then lever closed. And then how you can see, I'm not going as high anymore with my clipper. I'm just going lower and lower. Now I'm using on a half, 1.5, and then 1.5. Lever open, then lever closed. And then pretty much the same process that we've done in other videos. It's the same techniques that I usually use. If you are not familiar with my techniques, I recommend you to watch some of the basic videos so you can kind of see how I do my fades, because it's pretty much the same kind of technique that I use for all of them. So here we use a 1 with the lever open then close, and right here we're using a 1/16 with the lever open and then the lever close. So how you can see, like as I'm changing the guards, I'm not going as high anymore with the machine. So this is just kind of because we're down fading. This is called down fading. So we don't have to create as many guides. How you saw, we only created one guide, which was the skin line, but then we pretty much down fading. So that means that we're starting from top to bottom, from lever open to close. And then here I'm just going to erase the skin line, no guard, just the machine with the lever open, and then we're closing that lever little by little, using a lot of corners and just playing with the machine little by little, as you can see, playing with the lever. And then that's it. That's super quick hairstyle. Like pretty much you're doing like only half a fade, to say it like that. So you just using the fade on the profile pretty much. So it's a quick haircut, to say it like that. So the back, we're just gonna pretty much just shape it up following where the hairline is. And after that, we actually gonna cut the top, and then anything that you see that is like a dark spot on the fade, what we're gonna use shears to kind of blend that into the top and kind of make that fade nicer, like a little more polished, and also kind of create a softer blend, because that's what we want. We want this haircut to be, it's like a modern mullet. So we wanted to have like a nice transition from the fade to the top, but not like too extreme, so for this type of like blends, I kind of like using the shears to kind of create those transitions, and I'm gonna show you why. You guys gonna see how softer those blends get after you use the scissors to blend. So here, how you can see, I'm using shears. These are just blending shears, which I think they are like they have like 20 something teeth. So they're gonna help me blend the dark spots. So you can see, I'm kind of like, whatever I see like dark spots, that's exactly what I'm gonna blend. Or you can see behind the ear, there's like a big dark spot there. I'm trying to blend it. I could do this with the machine, but it would not give me the same look. I feel like with the shears, it's gonna be like a softer transition. So that's why. So pretty much just when you see dark spots, that's where you wanna go ahead and light up pretty much. So this haircut, part of the haircut, what it is the nice beard the client has. So you can see this client has a beautiful beard. So we're gonna shape that, we're gonna sculpture that beard. Pretty much we're gonna remove a little bit of length, but more than anything, just give it like a nice shape to it. So here I'm blending the beard, kind of the sideburn into the fade. So I'm using pretty much all I did was 1.5, then a 1, then a 1/16, and then the lever no clip with the lever open and then close. So that's pretty much what it is. You just want to create like a small transition. You don't want to cut too much into the beard. If I was gonna create like a more open transition, then it's gonna start cutting into the beard, and that's not what we want. We want just like very short, pretty much transition. So here we're gonna go ahead and cut the top. You can see it, like I'm going a little bit fast with the video. It's just because I didn't have enough time to kind of like record everything, so I had to just do kind of parts of it. So that's the reason why, guys. But I mean, it's still very valuable because you guys are gonna learn so much, and this is such a cool haircut that I definitely need to get on camera. So the top, pretty much all we're doing, we're following the hair shape. We're just cutting a little bit of it. As you can see, I'm using a point cutting technique just because I want to give it a little bit of texture. The client has a lot of weight and a lot of density, so I wanted to remove some of that. On the back, to give texture, I'm using a styling razor or a feather razor, and pretty much what I'm doing, I'm pulling the hair and just the tips. I'm just kind of like cutting the tips a little bit, and that's just gonna create a nice and softer texture on the back, which that's what we want. I want to remove some of that bulk. Just how I said, the client has thick density and he has a lot of hair, so I want to remove that and give it like a nice transition to it. So as you can see here, like all I'm doing is kind of just hitting the tips of the hair, just kind of to remove some weight and give that nice textured look. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just make sure that you don't cut too close to the actual root, because and then the problem with the styling razor is that if you don't know how to use it, you can actually just kind of damage the hair a little bit. And especially if you get too close to the roots, then when that hair starts growing, it's just gonna make the hair spike up, and it's just, if it's not what you're going for, then it might create more problems for you. That's why I don't like showing it too much, but I've been getting so many requests about how to use it. So I had two answers for you. One, go ahead and I'm gonna start doing more videos of it, and two, you can also follow MC Barber if you guys are not following him already. He does a lot of styling razor techniques and things like that. I actually have learned a lot of techniques from him as well. So, and he's actually he's part of the Sharfing Shears team as well. So give him a follow because he has a lot of cool tutorials out there if you're interested in learning how to use the styling razor. So here I'm gonna go ahead and use a lot of channeling cutting. This is gonna just add extra texture to the hair. I like using more scissors than anything else, like shears and anything else, to be honest with you, to create all my haircuts and texture and all that stuff. So this is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm doing like a diagonal channeling cutting just to create some of that texture on the top, and this is just gonna add like a very unique look, and it's gonna make the hair kind of go in different directions. That's definitely what we want with this type of hairstyle, because we want it to just be move around, right? We want the hair to move, and we don't want it to just stay in one place because it's gonna look like a helmet, right? We want some movement in it. So okay, once we're done with the haircut, we're gonna go ahead and work in that nice beard. So how I said, we're gonna start right in the middle. We're not gonna cut that much length, just a little bit, but pretty much what we're gonna do is just give it like a nice shape to it. So usually what I do, I like to follow whatever the client already has, just kind of like going natural with the shape that the client has already. And usually that will be the best way, just because it's gonna look the nicest. But sometimes the client wants to change the shape, so you can also do that. So in this case, you can see I'm standing in the front, and then now I'm standing on the sides. I'm trying to create like a more square shape to it, and that's what the client wanted. So, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So to create a square shape, you usually want to stay in the front, and you want to stay on the sides, and kind of just shape it from there, right? Once you start going in like in the corners, like diagonal, then you're gonna start rounding the shape that you're trying to create, right? So pretty much is there's not much I can tell you about sculpturing beard, to be honest with you. This is something that you just gotta practice. There's no really tips or anything like that, like I'll just blow dry the beard, and then once it's not moving, that you just gotta freehand that shape that you want to create. Try to see it before you start shaping it. Just obviously be careful, because if you make a hole in the beard, you just ruin months of growth and things like that. No, it's just one of those things you gotta be careful, and that's it. So I'm gonna let you guys enjoy it when I do this. Ooh, and that beard's looking so nice already. Honestly, I'm totally envious because I would love to have a beard like that, but mine just grows enough so I can look like a homeless person, but that's about it. So anyway, guys, we're using a hot towel now. The hot towel is gonna help kind of relax the skin and also open the pores, so it makes the shave easier. So pretty much all I'm doing, I'm just following the natural guide line, like hairline, right, where the hair grows. So I don't want to push it back. I just want to kind of make it sharp wherever it is, and that's about it. We're keeping everything pretty square. You can see thick. The same thing with the beard. We going for a more natural look. We don't want to, like, usually beards like that, we want to keep them high on the cheeks, so we don't want to push them back too much. We can make it sharp by just using the razor. You can use if you want to make it extra sharp, you can use some color enhancement. You know, there's different ways, but without having to push back the actual beard. Especially with beards that big, you do not want to push it back. You want to keep it as natural as possible. You want to keep it as high as possible, and this is gonna just make the beard look nicer. Nothing worse than seeing a long like a big beard like this with a pushback top. It just doesn't look good. So here we're shaping up the mustache, and just kind of the same thing, just following the lip, pretty much following where the lip it starts, and then we're gonna leave it right there. Also, like, just make sure you talk to your clients, because sometimes they kind of want the mustache to cover the lip a little bit, some want it on top of the lip. So you just gotta, that's something you gotta talk to your client, and between both of you decide exactly what you want. So here I'm just like using the razor. Just make sure you pull the skin 90 degrees obviously, and that's about it. I'm using the razor also on the shape up. And with this type of hairstyles, like, you don't really need to do the shape up. This is only like personal preference. I personally don't like front shape ups that much, like on myself, and I think on certain hairstyles you don't really need them. Some clients do like them, so obviously if the client likes them and they want it, let them know that if they do a front shape up, it's not gonna stay like that forever. A lot of clients think that they're gonna get it done and it's gonna stay straight and like perfect, and the hair's not gonna grow back for like a month, and that's not how it is, right? The more hair you cut, the quicker it's gonna start growing, and the more you're gonna see it. So just let the client know. So here I'm using my Sharfin shears. These are my 6.25 shears. These are, in my opinion, some of the best shears in the market. If you're interested and you want to buy some quality shears, you can use my code. I have a code. It's FIT, FIT, and then with this code you get a free pair of pro shears. So pretty much you're getting 2 for 1, in another word. So I receive a lot of questions about shears, and this is the ones that I use. So here you have the final result, guys. I think it was such a cool haircut. I couldn't record the whole thing. I said, like, it was a Saturday that was recording this, so it was super busy, but we got it done. That's what matters. And so you guys can see how I did this haircut, and I think it's super dope, super different, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.